Polish with Ray. I'm Rachel and today I'm going to be sharing with you what I wore on my nails in October. So it is the last few days of October. I just put on my Halloween mani. Ooh. And I gotta say, you are in for an amazing video. I wore so many polishes this month. I wore lots of untrieds, but I wore quite a few like tried and true favorites, and I feel so good about what I wore on my nails in October. Altogether, I wore 24 polishes, which I usually get around to like 15 or so. A few of those were pedicures. I had some Skittles manicures. I had some layering kind of looks. So yeah, a lot of variety this month, which who doesn't love that? So if you haven't seen one of my what I wore videos before, we're gonna look at everything I wore from this month, bottle shots of every look, and then I'm gonna show you swatch photos of the manicures. First, we'll look at polishes that I wore as pedicures, then we'll look at manicures, starting with the ones that I liked okay, then the ones that I really hated, and then at the end, the ones that I absolutely loved, and that category is huge this month. And of course, I'll give you my thoughts along the way. So pedicures first. I wore 2 pedicures in October. The first polish that I wore as a pedicure is from the Orally Breathable line. It actually came out with this season's release, and it's called Now or Bouclater. This one is a muted, kind of dusty eggplant cream. So, was not crazy about this as a pedicure. I just kind of reached for it on a whim because I got this collection in PR. I wasn't sure I was going to, and I've heard great things about Orally Breathable shades as pedicure because the formula is supposed to include a base coat and a top coat. So if it's a 2-coat polish, you do those 2 coats and you're done. And I think most people, that's how they want to be with their pedicures. They want them quick and out of the way because they're not very fun to do. I loved the breathable line as a pedicure. I did end up adding top coat, but I skipped the base coat. I felt like that was fine. I didn't get any staining or see any quicker chipping on my nails with skipping the base coat. But this color in particular, I wasn't super crazy about. It was fine. It's just kind of dark and, you know, I don't know. I'm not wearing sandals anymore. It's too chilly for that most days here, so I didn't really notice that I had this on as a pedicure, and when I did, I was just kind of like, oh, that's right. I forgot I was wearing that. Great formula though. It was really easy to work with, fully opaque in 2 coats, and I'll probably be reaching for more of this line as a pedicure in the future. The pedicure that I am currently wearing comes from Morgan Taylor. It's also from this year's fall collection. I got it in PR, which by the way, if you didn't know, I list all of the items that I got in PR down in the description box because a good amount of what I do share here, I received in PR sometimes years ago. But I put that down there in case you were wondering. But this was from this season's fall collection from Morgan Taylor, and it's called 15 Minutes of Frame. This one is a rusty, reddy orange cream. Okay, this color is beautiful. It is so striking. Even though I'm not wearing sandals, every time I get to see this on my nails, I'm like, ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. It's just warm, it's cozy, it's just something about it is absolutely beautiful. And it's such a chameleon on the nails because sometimes it looks red, but next to my red shirt, it definitely looks more orange, right? On my nails, it looks kind of brown. So it just kind of depends on what's nearby on your skin tone for what the base color of this one's going to look like, and I really enjoyed it. I will say I'm pretty used to Morgan Taylor creams being 1 to 2 coaters, like pretty consistently 1 coaters, but that second coat, you know, really gives you full opacity and evenness, and this one was not like that. It has more of a jelly formula, so I did need 3 coats for full opacity. Okay, on to manicures that I just liked okay. The first one is a combo. As a base, I wore Stella Chroma by Fall-icia. By Fall-icia is a beautiful pumpkin orange cream. And then I topped it with 2 coats of Nailed It Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat is a pale orange base with lots of shifty flakes that shift red to copper to gold to green, as well as black flakes. So this manicure came out really beautiful. I actually loved the end result, but I think I'm gonna end up destashing the Nailed It. I just realized I didn't really like the base color of the nail, that it has kind of like a yellowy orange base, and I really prefer like a pumpkin orange against my skin tone. So I decided to layer it over the Stella Chroma, and the finished look was so beautiful, but it actually reminded me quite a lot of a polish I already have, which is Polish for Days Jack-o'-lantern. I love Jack-o'-lantern. So I don't really see myself wearing the Nailed It without an orange cream underneath to deepen up the base color a little bit. And why would I do that when I already have an orange polish with black flakes with shifty red to copper to gold to green flakes? Like, it just doesn't make sense. So when I added the Trick or Treat, part of me was like, oh, I should have just left by Fall-icia on its own, because this is a gorgeous cream. It had a beautiful formula. I loved it on the nails, but I really wanted to try this one because I'd had it for a few years, and yeah, I'm gonna destash it, but they do look really pretty together. Next, we have a Wildflower lacquer. This one is What If You Miss. What If You Miss has a magenta base with shimmer that shifts like a purple to pink to gold to green and holographic flakes. Okay, so this polish is stunning. No one can argue that. It is so, I mean, some of you probably can argue that, but I cannot deny that it was so perfectly beautiful. It just really feels like an oddball with the rest of what I wore this month. I think when I put it on, I was really in the mood to wear something festive and Halloween. I mean, can you tell I'm like really feeling the Halloween vibes this year? I was really wanting that, and this did not give me that. It is gorgeous, literally any other time of year, just not quite what I was wanting. It was fully opaque in 2 coats. The formula is perfection, and it was so shiny on the nails. Oh my goodness. Like, it looked like foily wrapping paper. It was glorious, but just, I wanted something spooky. Another polish that I just kind of liked okay is another Wildflower lacquer, and it's called Autumnal Winds. This one is a saturated orange jelly base packed with holographic flakes. So this one, I'm like debating, should I put it in the love category? Because I really, really, really liked it. It, especially in the sun, oh my gosh, like what? It almost didn't look real. Like, it was wildly sparkly. The pigmentation of this was wild. It's just so beautiful. But in the bottle, it looks like a super saturated deep dark orange. Like, it kind of gave me Fair Maiden Polish Mindfreak vibes in the bottle. And then once I put it on my nails, and hopefully it kind of comes through this way in my photos, it looked more like a little bit more neutral, like a muted brownie orange, and not that it wasn't really striking. It's a beautifully made polish, but it felt a little bit more brown, and I wanted that punch of color. I wanted something really loud and bright and vibrant, and this didn't feel as vibrant on me as it did in the bottle. So it's a gorgeous polish. I will not be parting with it. I just now have readjusted my expectations to know that on my skin tone, this looks a little bit more neutrally, and I'll be ready next time, and I will enjoy it far more. Next, we have one from Stella Chroma. This one is their October for 2024 monthly mystery. So this one has a brownie red base. It's a warm red base with a shimmer that shifts red to copper to gold to green, holographic flakes, and black flakes. Okay, when this polish came in the mail, I might have squealed. Like, I love this. The black flakes, the hollow, the red. It's so pretty. But again, when I put it on my nails, it just felt a little bit more brown leaning. It felt a little bit more neutral. And I know if my skin tone were more fair or more deep, that it probably would have looked so different on me. I just always forget that these warm tones a lot of times pull kind of neutrally on myself. And there's nothing wrong with that, and a lot of you comment all the time that I should not get so hung up on how it looks on me. If it's a beautiful polish, it's a beautiful polish, and I can't disagree, which is why I'm keeping this. But I was like a little bit surprised that it looked like, you know, just a little bit more subdued than I was expecting. And it's a beautiful polish. It's so beautiful. Like, the way the hollow sparkled, the black flakes, the shifting shimmer. is everything I love. But I just was surprised. I shouldn't have been, because I'd had this happen several times this month, but I was just so surprised that this shade pulled a little bit more neutral. That's why I think I typically do reach for cooler toned polishes, because since I have warm undertones, cooler tones just pop on me a little bit more. That's why I usually like blue toned reds and blue toned pinks. They just give me a little bit more pop, and I like a lot of pop. And the last polish that I wore and liked okay is another combination. So I wore as a base OPI Engagement to Be. This one is a gray jelly polish. And then I used a couple toppers. First I used Polish for Days Lights Out, which is a black flaky topper. And then I also used Coloristic Freddy, which is a clear base with black square glitters, black and orange micro glitters, and black and orange some holographic hex glitters. So this polish is also borderline a love. I enjoyed wearing this a whole lot, but I was like kind of craving something a little punchier when I had it on my nails. So the way I created this manicure is I put on a nail line blurring base coat, Polished for Days Snow. Then I added OPI Engagement to Be in 2 coats. Then I dry brushed on the tips of my nails, like halfway up my nail, Polished for Days Lights Out. And then I dry brushed Coloristic Freddy on the tips before going in with one more coat of OPI Engagement to Be, and then finishing up with just a few glitters of Coloristic Freddy. So it kind of was a little bit of a time-consuming manicure. I didn't mind. I had the time. I wanted to be doing my nails. So it was really fun to put on. I was just, after wearing it for a few days, I was ready for something loud and bright or dark and broody. And this one was a very beautiful, sparkly, neutrally manicure. Someone mentioned in the comments on Instagram that this would be really beautiful for New Year's Eve, and I absolutely agree. Like, I've created this kind of look before using different colored jellies. I think the gray of the OPI Engagement to Be is perfect for Halloween. I did this last year, I think, with KBShimmer Take It or Leave It. But I think it's perfect for Halloween because it kind of gives your nails like a kind of like more dreary, cloudy appearance. But you can trade out Coloristic Freddy with any glitter topper and get that same kind of effect. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It was beautiful, but I just liked it. It wasn't quite as dazzling as what I'm gonna show you here in a few minutes. And then there were 2 manicures that I really didn't like, and I'm gonna destash. One comes from Painted Polish, and it's called Slime All Yours. This one is a chartreusey green base with gold flakes. So this had a lovely formula. All Painted Polishes do. I believe it was fully opaque in 2 coats. I bought this because I want to love this color, but I'm just gonna start being honest with myself. I don't. I do not like this color. I don't mind a chartreuse if it has like more white in it, because again, I've said it so many times, I love a polish that pops on my nails. And this one has some brown in it, so it just kind of, like, felt like it washed me out. I didn't like it, except the formula and the gold flakies. So this one's going away, and I'm not sad to see it go. And then the other polish that I did not like this month comes from Polished for Days, and it's Wherever You Dwell. This one has a navy blue base and very intense, like, metallic-y shimmer that shifts copper to gold to green. Okay, what made me buy this polish? I want to go back to 2023 Rachel and find out, why did you buy that? Because I know what I like sometimes. And I know I don't like navy blue bases, and I know I don't like copper shimmer. And this has both of those, and I still bought it. Someone's swatches, or someone's swatch review video, probably Caitlin swatches, made me buy this. Yeah, in bright lighting, you could see that blue base really obviously, and it was so beautiful. But anytime you were out of direct lighting, it kind of turned into a multi-chrome, and you just saw that copper to gold to green shift. And I did not like that at all. I do like a gold polish, but I like a gold sparkly polish, like a gold flaky hollow polish. This multi-chromes aren't my favorite. Navy blue's not my favorite. Copper's not my favorite. I don't know why I bought it, but I'm glad I got around to it this month and realized I didn't love it, so I could put it in my D-stash. All right, and finally, let's move on to the polishes that I absolutely loved this month. The first comes from Bluebird Lacquer, and it is Centaur of Attention. Centaur of Attention is a blood red linear holographic, and I'm not sure what version this is, but mine came in PPU Rewind of 2022. I want to know why it took me so long to get this on my nails. I heard so many people talk about how beautiful it is, and I knew it would be great, but I still didn't wear it, and I'm just so glad I did. This polish made me very, very happy. It was so sparkly. It looked like crushed rubies. It was just so ridiculously beautiful. It's absolutely one of my favorite polishes of the year. It's probably one of my favorite reds in my collection, if not like, yeah, I'd say definitely like top 3. And you know I love reds. I wear a decent amount of red polishes, but this just had a hold on me. It was just so saturated, so pigmented, and I've been using Starly's Guardian base coat, which I purchased, and did not get staining with this polish and haven't been getting a lot of staining lately because of that base coat. So I recommend that. But yeah, this polish is magic. It's just perfection. I hope it comes back again for Rewind. I think that will make it the 5th time it's come back. But I think if you like deep vampy reds, like this one is worth hunting for. I will say there are different versions of this. There's like version 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the different years it's been released, and they do vary slightly. But the 2022 version is wonderful and perfect. They all look great, but some of them are a little bit lighter or deeper or orangier or whatever. And then I was asked to compare this to Slappy's Tie from Colorista Carol because I love Slappy's Tie. And you all, I think I love this better. I think I love the Bluebird Lacquer more. I will say the Slappy's Tie brush was perfectly cut. This one was not. So the ease of application with the Colorista Carol was easier. It went on smoother. But this one just had like a depth to it, like a more blackened base that just had it feeling so dynamic. It was fabulous. Another polish I wore and loved this month comes from Bes Locker. It is a lion with a thorn in its paw. This one has a denim blue base with shimmer that shifts red to copper to gold to green and holographic flakes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I always underestimate this polish in the bottle, and then I get it on my nails and it just has so much wow factor. Like, I think it's every time that red shimmer hits or the green shimmer hits, like, I can't believe my eyes. Because the shimmer is just so wildly vibrant. Like the green, the shade of green that this shifts to, it looks like the green on a traffic light. It is glowing and intense. And the shade of red, like sometimes red shimmer looks more pinky. This does not. It looks red. This polish was fabulous. It was a polish that I was a little afraid to wear this month because, like I said, I've been feeling the spooky vibes and this does not feel spooky. But I wore it early in the month and I was not sad I did. It is perfect. Another one I wore and loved this month comes from Polish for Days, and it's called Midnight Marble. Midnight Marble has a jelly teal base and flakes that shift red to copper to gold to green, as well as black flakes. So this polish I've also had in my collection for a few years and hadn't tried it yet, and I'm so glad I got around to it. I'm not a big teal nail polish wearer, and wearing polishes that have this effect on me make me question that so much because this was so happy. The way the flakes popped against that teal base was just, oh my goodness, it was incredible. Because the base was so deep, I couldn't really see the black flakies as much as I can with some of her other black flaky polishes, but when I noticed them, they were really cute too. The only thing I will say about this is it was a little bit more sheer than I was expecting. Most of the time, these black flaky polishes from Polish for Days will build up to full opacity for me in 3 coats, but this one I think is a little bit more sheer because the base is so deep and it doesn't want to conceal, she didn't want to conceal the flakes. So in 3 coats, I did have just a little bit of visible nail line, but it wasn't super noticeable. Another teal I wore and loved this month comes from KBShimmer, and it's called Northern Frights. This one has a teal base with multi-chrome shimmer that shifts green to blue to purple to pink and maybe gold at extreme angles, as well as hollow flakes. So when I grabbed this, it was kind of an impulse buy. I bought something from a stockist and saw that they had a KBShimmer shade that I didn't have. And anytime I see one of those, I'm always like, ooh, should I get it? Because I know I love KBShimmer polishes. The formulas are always spot on. So I decided to grab this on a whim. It was sitting on my nail polish rack and I was thinking, I'm not gonna like that. There's no way. I just don't really like those dark teals. I don't really like multi-chrome shimmer, like, no. But I said, let's go ahead and put it on. Let's wear it, make sure I don't like it before I de-stash it. I should not have doubted. I should not have doubted KBShimmer because there have been very few KBShimmers that I haven't loved. This one was wonderful. It was so rich and dark and vampy most of the time, but when it hit the sunlight, the shimmer sparkled and glowed, and the holographic was like twinkling stars in a dark sky. Oh, it was so pretty. And the way the shimmer shifted, like it has a green to blue to purple shift, but the blue, I guess it's because it's in that teal base, it didn't really feel like a cobalt blue like most shimmers shift. It felt like a navy, and it was really, really cool. And the last standalone polish that I wore and loved this month comes from Fair Maiden Polish, and it is Mindfreak. Mindfreak has a dark, vampy, reddy orange jelly base with super duper metallic flakies that are very shifty. I fall in love with this polish more and more every time I see it. Every time I have it on my nails, it like almost brings me to tears. The flakies are just wild. They are so shiny. Like, I think they're multi-chrome flakies. I don't usually like those. I love hollow flakies. I love iridescent flakies, glass flakes. Oh my gosh, I love glass flakes. But multi-chrome flakies, I'm just not usually very crazy about. But these, there are just so many of them. It like feels like crushed fall leaves that are like shiny and foily in a jelly base. And because of the jelly base, you get a really cool pond effect. It is just, I could not take my eyes off of this when it was on my nails. It's fall in a bottle. It's perfect for Halloween. I could have worn this all month and been very happy. I know Fair Maiden is not around anymore. They've split up into Beau Rev Lacquer and Monarch Lacquer. But I hope that someday Adrian and Sarah will come back together to create this again, because everyone deserves to have Mindfreak. It is that good. All right, 2 more manicures, and they are Skittles. The first one incorporated 3 or 4 different polishes. So the black polish is from Wildflower Lacquer. It's called The Internet Says You're Dead. This one has a black base with shifting shimmer that looks mostly purple, but sometimes shifts to blue, as well as linear holographic. The orange that I wore comes from the brand Sips and Tips, which was made by Jackie Bodek. Thank you so much. And it's called Smashed Pumpkins. This one is a almost neon orange base with gorgeous purple and iridescent flakies. Maybe it has a purple shimmer and then iridescent flakies. I think that's it. And maybe black flakies too. It's very complex. And then I actually wore a couple purples. The first one was KBShimmer Witch Please. And then the other one was Cuticula Haunt Your Heart Out. This one has a purple base and it is packed with orange to gold to green flakes, as well as black flakes. Okay, so initially when I wore this, I was not happy with it. But I realized very quickly it was because I did not feel like the KBShimmer Witch Please polish was really what I was looking for. It just had more of a jelly feel with this Skittle, and the Sips and Tips polish and the Wildflower Lacquer were so opaque and punchy and bright. I just felt like the KBShimmer did not match that vibe, and it was bringing it down. And y'all know I'm very picky about my purples anyway. This one, just with that sheer kind of base, it just isn't my favorite polish to begin with. But instead of taking off the whole manicure, I decided to try to find a better fitting purple to go with the vibe of these other two. And so I replaced it with Cuticula Haunt Your Heart Out. And that made this manicure a love. I felt like Smashed Pumpkins and Haunt Your Heart Out were like almost the same polish but reversed. Like like even looking at them now, I'm just like, wow, they look like they could have come from the same collection because they both have the same shifting iridescent flakes. They both have, I think, black flakes, but this one's got a purple base with mostly orange flakes, and then the orange has an orange base with mostly purple flakes. And then the Wildflower Lacquer, I almost decided to wear this as a full manicure on its own after this one. It stunned me. The hollow was wow, just wow. The shifting shimmer, it was super pigmented. It just reminded me how much I love black polish. So yeah, I'm glad I got around to a couple Skittles this month. That one was really fun. And the final manicure that I wore in October is what I currently have on my nails, and it combines 3 polishes. The orange is Bluebird Lacquer or Bluebird Lacquer Witchful Thinking, which is a red orange leaning base with orange to copper to gold shifting shimmer, as well as holographic flakes or shattered hollow pigment. The black is Stella Chroma Axefight. Axefight has a black base with shimmer that shifts purple to green to gold, as well as holographic flakes. And then the white Crelly is KBShimmer, That's the Spirit. This one has a white Crelly base with orange and black glitters in a variety of sizes. My thoughts when putting on this manicure is this might be an annual mani for me. I could totally see myself wearing this every Halloween, every year, forever until I run out of these polishes. I just think the Stella Chroma and the Bluebird look so good together since they both have that holographic component. I really like doing my Skittles that way, where I do like a glitter Crelly and then I take the colored glitters and pick polishes that have that color in the same finish. So like the layout of this for me is a slam dunk. They both also have a shifting shimmer, the orange and black. And to top it off, all of these had perfect formulas. Perfect. I think I ended up doing 3 coats for all of them. They all could have been okay at 2 coats, but on that 3rd coat, I was like, okay, I'm glad I did 3. But they were so easy to work with. The KBShimmer, the glitters just spread themselves out so perfectly. The Stella Chroma had the most incredible, like squishy, juicy jelly finish. And then the Bluebird Lacquer was really opaque. It's definitely could have been a 2-coater, and it's so sparkly. Unfortunately, the KBShimmer and the Bluebird Lacquer were both limited edition. So I'm gonna cherish them while I have them, but I'm gonna use them. The Stella Chroma is available on her site, so I will link it below, and I'll link anything that is currently available down in the description box so you can shop. But yeah, I've worn the orange and the black as full manicures in the past, so I already knew I loved them, and then adding this just made it even more fun. I loved it. So that is everything I wore on my nails in October. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. What did you like that I wore? What did you wear that you loved? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!